What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, my people? You know what it is. Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another one. And this one is the top moments in Lovecraft season 1. Now, I told y'all that even though the season was over, the Don was still going to be here rocking with you until the next season. Even throughout that, we're going to keep it going, man. We're going to keep it going. And we're going to go through all these top moments. Not all of them, right? There's so many. We're going to see how many of them we can get through. And how we all feel about that. But, before I do, as always, I got to say what up to my people up in the chat. You know what I mean? As always. So what up to Bernadette Baker, live from Canada, rocking with us right now. Myla loves you, and we love you. What up to you? What up to Jake Cruz up in the building? Lorraine McKinney is in here rocking with us right now. Tamara is back rocking with us right now. What up? What up? As always, my brother from another mother, Muhammad, is rocking in the building with the Don Tony Teflon. Now, I'm sure that you all, I'm sure all y'all have other Siren Thomas, what up to you? What up to everybody out here came in here, and we still gonna have people in there coming through, I'm sure. Now I'm sure that there are people out here who just don't want to hear me babble about it. I'm sure that other people have their own opinions about what the top things are, top moments are. You know what I mean? I did say earlier, didn't I? Look, my hood is twisted to the side. Why is it twisted like that? Is that right? All right, that's better. You know what I mean? I'm sure people have their own stuff like that. Oh, let's highlight that comment right there. And I appreciate you loving my videos. I appreciate that. I enjoy and very much enjoy making them. What up to everyone? As always, a thug mug is in hand. All right, as I was saying, though, I am sure that y'all get sick of this hearing from me and hearing everything that I had to say. So once again, Don Tony Teflon, I'm going to give you a chance, and I told y'all before the season ended that I would give you all a chance to voice your opinion on this show and everything. What up to Mod Mary up in here rocking with us right now? If you don't know how long I'm definitely going to be up in here. You know what I mean? We don't know. So I said I'd give y'all a chance to come on here and rock with me and everything else and stuff like that. So, I'm going to give you the chance to do so. As always, I'll put the link in the description. You can jump on with me and and bring up your own top moments. What the F moments. And the bottom line is this: if you come on, number one thing you got to have is a good connection. All right, you can't have no static or anything like that. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave because I just can't. You can't have that. It's not a good show, man. All right. If you have a good connection, you want to get on here right now. This is your chance to go set your stuff up and get ready, because I'm going to drop the link in a little bit. But before I do, all right, I think we'll be ready. Let's start this off the way we're supposed to start this off. I think we're ready to go. I think we're all ready to go. I'm ready to go. Y'all are ready? All right, let's do this. What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you another one, and this one is Lovecraft Country top moments. And we are here doing this thing live with everybody out here rocking with us. It is the first Sunday without Lovecraft Country in 10 weeks. You know what I mean? 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And this is our first Sunday. So I am here talking about the top moments in Lovecraft Country. And hopefully I will not be alone talking about these things, because I am going to invite people here from my chat, all my people up in here for the chat. I'm going to invite someone to come in here and rock with me. How many I'll let in, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. And if you do decide to come in here and rock with me, make sure that you put your regular name so I can identify you. Because if you try to come in here, some fake alias name, and you're someone I don't like, I'm just gonna kick you off, and then I'm gonna block you from the show. So you don't want all that. You know what I mean? You don't want all that. And since we have so many new people here, I'm going to have to one of these streams. I'm going to have to sit back, and I'm going to have to make some of y'all mods. So I have some new mods up in here because some of y'all definitely deserve to be mods. And I'm gonna do that probably. I'm on StreamYard right now, so I can't do that from StreamYard. But I'm going to do that from I'm going to do that from when I hit YouTube and stuff like that. I'm not an alien. Are you not? You just came in here. You rocked with us last time, and you did a great job. You know what I mean? Without a shadow of a doubt. So definitely that. She's a hope. People who experience the deepest grief have the most extreme happiness. I would agree with that statement. I would agree with that statement. I would say that the people who have experienced grief really have an appreciation for what happiness truly is. So that's why it does seem like they experience the most extreme happiness. But I truly believe it's that they appreciate the happiness that they get, and something that someone else would consider small is they do not take any happiness as small at all. I think they take it all as extreme happiness because they experience so much grief. So that would be my point in that statement. That's what I would think about it. That's what the Don thing. Some words of wisdom from the Don. And everyone else. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else. Make sure you hit the like up on the stream, everything else. What up to Christy Oldstones in the building, rocking with us right now. Truly appreciate it. I'm waiting for people to see who's going to jump in here with me. But if not, I'm just going to start naming off moments and stuff. I will put the glasses on. Jesus. All right. I'll put the glasses on just so I could see the chat better. I don't have to strain my eyes. All right. You got that going? Don't make fun of me. All right. We'll give it one more minute. Let's see if anyone else got. What up to Lindsay rocking from Facebook? I appreciate that. Hey. Just when I started to like Montrose, the show is over. I'm trying to get that dude on bad right now. I'm like hounding him. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna get in contact with one way. I need to be what it is. You know what I mean? I need to see what it is. We're gonna get him on here eventually and stuff like that. And don't be ashamed. I'm blind as a bat. Yeah, it's really just words for me more than anything. Small words and all that good stuff. What up to Ms. Shasta LaRue, rocking from Philly? Is that a lion? With us? Is that a lion with like a sweater on? Is that what is? I don't know. I don't know. Sydney says, LOL, Montrose was likable in the end. Montrose was up and down for the season. I guess at the end, people did like him. But I guess it all comes down to, what it be? You know what I mean? When it comes to him. I could take it both ways. Sometimes, that's a main. That's his main. Oh, okay. Now, sometimes I think that even though you do good, it doesn't wipe away the bad, right? As Dennis Baratheon would say. So I could see why people still would not like Montrose and everything else. I could still see why that would be. All right. It seems that no one wants to get on to Don. That's fine. I just like to offer because I said I would. So let's start this off without about the first top moment that I'm going to talk about right now. And obviously, sometimes the character has to grow on me. All right, so speaking of Montrose, we'll start with Montrose slitting this woman's throat at the end of the episode. What episode was that they did that? Episode 4. I do believe 3 or 4. It was one of those episodes where he slits the throat. So they go down and they get this lady. I don't know her name. I'm gonna say that she was a hermaphrodite. Right? I'm gonna see that's what she was, and she seemed to have some knowledge of everything that was going on and all that stuff, right? She seemed to be doing good, have some knowledge and everything. And the dude comes out at the episode 5, Tamara. Thank you very much. And he pulls out his razor blade and just slits her throat. And I think that that was a very shocking moment. I don't think anyone's seen that coming. Not after all they've been through to get her back. And this is something that, does Montrose make up? You know what I mean? Does it Montrose make up for the things he's done in the past with this last couple of episodes? Now, this is something. He murdered somebody. You know what I mean? He definitely murdered somebody. You know what I mean? Oh, what up to my brother, Kevin Cleary, up in the building. And his beautiful wife, Miss Cleary. That's great. Grab a beer and come chill with me right now. That's what I like. You know what I mean? So I would say, when I look at what Montrose did, he murdered this lady, and I still don't know the exact reason why he did it. There's still no reason that is given why Montrose took this lady out. He seemed just to do it for his own reasons. Like, there's nothing there that makes you say, oh, he had to do this. He did this for the benefit of everybody. It still, to me, seems that it's something that did not have to be done. I don't see the reason. Lindsay wants to say that he was scared. Was scared of what? You know what I mean? What are you scared of? There's really no reason for him to have killed this woman. I don't know what she could have done that would be. Oh, it's the Secretary of Sound. We'll put that up there. You know what I mean? I don't know what she could have done that would have prevented anything from happening the way it happened. So it still, to me, was just a straight murder from Montrose. And, and maybe you can't forgive him in the end for doing that. Maybe you can't forgive Montrose for saying, hey, why did you kill this woman? Why did you do that? It didn't make any sense to me. It's something that I don't think that he had to do. And Bernadette says sabotage. He definitely was a sabotage situation. He was definitely trying to sabotage. But it didn't affect anything. If she would have stayed alive, Tick would have still died the way he died. I don't see how that changed the outcome by killing her. It did nothing. So he just strictly murdered her just to murder her. And he didn't just murder her it wasn't like it was his first time. He did that easy. You know what I mean? It was like nothing for him to kill this woman after all she was been through. Look at the stuff she'd been through to where she at in her life, and get to survive the water and come up there and everything else, not speaking the language and everything else, and she just get taken out like that by him. It's just the throat slice. You know what I mean? So I think that was one of the top what the fuck moments in this show. And again, it has to deal with Montrose and how you guys take it or anything else. It is what it is, but I had to take it like it's a little suspect. Anna says they didn't connect the dots well for that storyline, which is unfortunate, and the writers admitting to messing that up. Well, I think they did. If the writers admitted to it, I would say if they didn't, they did not flesh that storyline out enough, at all. Bernadette says maybe he thought she was a demon. Nope. I'm not giving him the pass on the demon theory. There was no one that thought she was a demon. We didn't think she was a demon. So why would he think that? She was there to help. Montrose did that because he was greedy and selfish. And he did that on his own. And that's the way I had to look at that. Chris says, I wish it was Montrose instead of Tick on that torture device thingy. I would have thought, I thought that's the way it was going to play out. I didn't think they'd kill him off. But, now looking back at it, you could see that he was going to die from the opening episode. You could tell he wasn't going to make it and everything else. Oh, it looks like we do have a guest who decided to join us here. And let's bring her in right now.
What's up?
What's going on, Tamara? How are you?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
glad to
How
hear
are
that.
you guys?
That is what's up. Now, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about Montrose here
Yeah.
and him killing that woman. How did you feel when he killed that woman?
I felt like, okay, this is what I feel. I feel, okay, you said something about Tick's, what's his name in real life?
And
Anthony? His schedule in real life. I feel like the show, yeah, I feel like the show set up Montrose, but I feel like the scheduling of Tick in real life, I feel like the show went a different direction. You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be Tick dying because Montrose's whole storyline was set up for him to die.
I thought so. I thought it seemed that way. It seemed like he was going to have to, especially when he was saying, I'm willing to sacrifice myself for my family and things like that. It just seemed like it was that maybe they did that on purpose because it was just too. It would have been too. It would have been too obvious if he did stuff like that. So maybe that's the reason they led you to believe it would be that, to try to throw you off of what was going to happen with what was going to happen to Atticus in the end.
Right.
It could have been a situation like that. So yeah, so do you give Montrose the pass for killing that woman? Do you think he was right on doing that, even when looking back at it?
I don't know. She was a siren, so I don't know if that's his point of killing her. I mean, how long could she survive in the real world? She could.
We won't find out.
I know. I
I
know.
mean, she would have been helpful in that final battle, though.
Maybe.
If she could scream and do all that stuff. Anything that Christina wouldn't have been prepared for would have been helpful because she had. Because we said that she didn't. That's how G was so effective because she didn't count on G. She had everything else figured out. She figured out the whole Ruby plot. She figured out all those things like that. You know what I mean? But she didn't know that could happen, and that took her by surprise. So this could have took her by surprise too. Maybe it would have been the difference of saving him and not saving him. All right. Now, all right. So I guess let's see if anyone else has anything to say about Montrose. I don't think. Anna says, great point, tomorrow. We have seen show changes course if a character lets them know in advance that they have to leave a show. Well, I would think. And now I don't know exactly when he got casted for this Avengers movie, and that would be the thing. Would be the Avengers movie. From what I've known from people who have signed contracts to do Avengers movies, it's usually not a one movie deal. It's usually a multi-movie deal. And dealing with the pandemic and everything else, it's really hard to see exactly how the shooting schedules go and everything else like that. But usually you're extremely busy. And that's why a lot of these guys, they get paid a lot of money to do it, like Robert Downey Jr. and these guys, they want to leave the series because they want to do other things because it really takes up all their time. Right. So it could be a situation like that where he would not have time to shoot a TV series having this role. And that is one of the reasons why, or he couldn't do it right now. And maybe he can come back, a year from now or something like that. Or something. And because listen, when you deal with magic, anyone can come alive. And you would think he would have to be back alive when you really look at the situation, because he has to be alive to get the book from D. And D hasn't reached that age yet where he gets the book from D. So she has to grow up and reach that age. So he has to be around in order to do that. So him being dead prevents all that from happening. So I would think that he would still have to be alive. Mara says, Yahima was a waste of a character. Even Misha admitted that it was the wrong choice. So yeah, you are correct. That's two people have confirmed that Misha has said that she did not handle that one right, and she could have did a better job with that. So we can't. We won't blame Misha for we won't blame Montrose for everything. We'll put on Misha too. All right, now since you are here with me, and I have given one top what the fuck moment, I would like for you to give one of your top moments in this show.
Oh, the twins. I think I think they were the biggest top, like that and the that sex scene with the blood and
let's go one at a time.
okay, the twins.
All right, so that was that's Topsy and Bopsy is the name?
Yeah, the
Is that
Topsy and Bopsy.
Topsy and Bopsy. So we see Topsy and Bopsy. They come around, and what episode was that they showed up in? Episode 8. I'm like one off every time, but I think it's 8. These 8 or 9.
Yeah.
They show up. They show up because Lancaster puts a curse on I can't think of her name. Why am I can't D? Put a curse on D. They show up out of nowhere, and I would say that they were probably one of the scariest things on network television that we've seen. I wonder, even though it just happened, I wonder how many people will dress their kids up as Topsy and Bopsy this year on Halloween.
Right.
How many people will actually be able to pull that costume off and do that? I think it can be done. I don't think it's that too hard when I look at it. And I bet you some people are also going to do that. Oh, we got a super chat here from Miss. Oh, so awesome. I'm on episode 8, so I can't stay. I'll be back to watch this later. Have fun, y'all. Miss the crew. And we miss you, Miss Oh So Awesome. So I wish I was in your boat and I still could watch the episodes like I've never seen them before, because you're in for a treat. Definitely come back as soon as you can, and we'll always be here talking about Lovecraft Country and all that. Thank you for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, so it was very nutty, like especially the way they brought them out from the Uncle Tom Cabins book, the way they were presented from there to be in real life, just the body contortions that they were doing and everything else. All right, how did you feel when you first seen?
I was scared as hell. I was scared for her, a little kid going through all that. It was scary. It was so scary. But it was so beautiful at the same time. Those girls, the dancers, oh my God, they did a great job.
They surely did.
Great job.
The actresses just pulled it off.
Yes.
All the movements that they did, As Elamar would say, if she was here, she would say that scene that got her the most is when they went into the house and then they broke the fourth wall and looked back at us, the camera, and then waved at us like, okay, right. That's made her think they're gonna come out the TV and come get her.
Right. That was
and I like that touch that they did that. Usually a lot of times people won't do that when they're making movies or TV shows because they feel that takes somebody out of it. But I thought that even put us into it even more. Like it made us more a part of the show by them doing that. So I truly appreciated that. All right, what else how you felt about them? We can I don't know what else to say. What else did you feel about them that you liked about them or didn't like about them? Did you like the way they went out? Do you think that it's a possibility of them coming back in future episodes? Or do you think it's a one-off?
Oh, it could be. I never thought about that. It could. That's a good point. I don't know what to think about them. I do have a theory about them, though. I believe that I like how the show made them two, Topsy and Bopsy, because one in the book is a slave girl and a white girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like they made the white. I feel like they made one scary doll follow the other one, like in the book, instead of making it as just a white. I don't know. I can't explain it, but that's why I think that both of them weren't attacking D at the same time, because they were following. One girl was following the other girl. One was leading the way. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a race thing, like you said, when they play in the blue and the red colors. I don't know. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really good. And I even the end when D was like, when she was to the point where she was just like, you know what, I'm not having this anymore. We're gonna fight. I'm sick of running from these people. And she just stood there and she tricked them to come in the way, and she was bashing them with her. She had a Negro League hat on and she was swinging that pipe like a bat, and she was just smashing them in the face and everything else. And it wasn't really hurting them, but it was great the way she did it. Mara says, I love them. They were two girls that threw the rock at. They were the two girls she threw the rock at.
Right.
That were laughing. That's it's possible they could be those two girls. I could see that being those two girls that she threw the rock at. And everything leading up to that, that's the Emmett Till episode, so the way that the actress has played a phenomenal job. I mean, she could win an award just for that one episode.
And it was sad for her because that was the end of her child. I mean, she had to grow up after that. She was a different D after that show.
Definitely was. She definitely was. All right, I'll go on to another what the F moment, and I will have to say Detective Lancaster. This him in general, everything. Now we meet Lancaster, we realize we think that they try to put it that Lancaster is the big villain of the show, and that's what it seems like he is, but it turns out he's really only the secondary hero villain of the show. But you know, when you hear the rumors, you know, first you hear the release when Letty gets the house and the experiments, the guy's running on him, and Lancaster was over here giving them kidnapping black people and bringing them to him so we could run these experiments. But you don't know his full extent of it until you see him with the torso of a black man when he has his shirt off. And that was something I did not expect to see. I did not think I would see at all. But so that was definitely a shocking moment. How did you feel when you I didn't think I seen it right when I first seen it. I said, wait a second.
I didn't catch it the first time either. I didn't catch it.
Go ahead.
First of all, can you explain to me what the guy in the closet meant for the story?
I think it was just to show that he was messed up, how messed up he was, that he was torturing people, and how far he would be in the danger that she was in being in there if she would have got caught, that he would have possibly done the same thing to her, because he said he was trying to get information out of the guy, but they never said if the guy talked or did anything like that. So I think it was just to show how evil he was.
Right. I mean, that was just another example of how they want to be us so bad, but don't like us. Mm-hmm. You're willing to wear a body part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you hate black people.
Yeah, he hates black people because, you know, obviously hates black people.
Right.
But he's willing to wear a black chest on his body at the same time.
That's just what we saw. You know, we don't know what else.
Yeah, because after he got bit up, you know, at the end he was trying to get more body parts put on him, but the spell wasn't working. They couldn't get, because Christina had Ruby put the rock in there, so he couldn't do it and transform himself. So it's the fact that he had that seemed like that wasn't the first time that happened to him. He's probably had many of torsos and other body parts on him and everything else. You know, he's probably had it all. Now I do believe it stopped at the waist. People have asked me, is he just black from the waist up? But you know, if he should have took the lower part if he was smart. That's what he should have did. Goddamn it! If you're gonna take anything, that's what you take, bro. You know what I mean? That's right. You know, that's just the chest, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. What up to Breezy Nails? I never seen Breezy Nails up in here before. Look, see, she got those nails like
look at them nails.
They are nice, but those see y'all ladies with these nails like Topsy and Bopsy. Yeah, I'm saying. I see some women with y'all nails is crazy long and pointy, and like they too long and pointy. This is too much. I sometimes just think it's just too much. And everything. But what, Breezy Nails? They're beautiful nails. I'm just playing with you. I think they're beautiful. You did a great job on them, but they are long, boy. I got a thing with running nails down my back and it sends shivers.
You don't like it?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
I love it. I love it too much. All right. So I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about Detective Lancaster? Do you think that's possible that he could come back? It seems like he's dead, but
yeah.
You think it's over for him? You think that was the end? Christina took him out at the end.
Yeah.
It seemed like she did. Unless somehow that rock can get removed or something else like that could happen, but it does seem like it's over for Lancaster. All right, what is another moment for you?
Ooh. Oh yeah, the sex scene.
Which one?
Well, Ruby, period. Ruby turning into a white woman, period. Especially the first time she did it. Oh my goodness, it was disgusting. All of that.
Yeah, Ruby turning into what? And I think the way they did it, the way they had it done with the shedding of the skin like a snake. you know, and leaving the big skin piles. Because you could see if she said, all right, she's going to turn to a white woman, and they just had her skin change color. And then when she turned back, her skin just turned back, you know, and maybe she had some spots on her, you know, or something like that while it turned back. You would think it'd be something like that, but no, they didn't do anything. They said it's going to be like goddamn butterfly, like a caterpillar. You're going to shed the whole skin and it's going to fall off. And we never did find out what happened to those skins because there's a lot of skin, piles of skin just laying around.
Right in the house.
There was a lot of it out there. It wasn't just like it was one pile. It was multiple piles of skin hanging out there. So even that, you know, we're gonna go through Ruby. Let's talk about the skin because we got to say that the another moment with Ruby. She had a bunch of them, but another moment is definitely when she put the high heel up that man's ass. That
was your moment.
That was my moment. Goddamn.
The anger came out. No, I guess that's the first time we seen that anger. But she had a pass because she could do whatever she wanted to do in that skin. So I guess she did what the fuck she wanted to do. Sorry.
But she turned back purposely to not do it in that skin because she wanted him to see.
Right, you're right.
That a black woman did this to him. You know, so.
How did she walk out that store like that? Like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, moments like in the club outside, she shed her skin. How do you just go home walking with?
And when you shed the skin, like your clothes fall off with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like a superhero where you shed your skin and somehow you got your clothes on. The clothes is in that too. So you walking around butt ass naked with blood all over your butt ass, all over your ass.
Right.
You know. And I would have to think that it stinks. I mean, you know what I mean? Blood has a certain smell to it, so I can't see it smelling good at all. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just think that it's just not when she did that, I could see, like, you know, the show, they could have said, all right, she do it one time, you get the point. Nope.
Right.
No,
nope.
She had to do it like 15, 16. I'm gonna go back and count. How many times if I had to interview that actress, that was what I wanted to be like. Like when you were doing that scene, when you read that scene first, what did you feel? And then when you actually executed it, how did it feel? Because she got into it. She was just, it wasn't like she was just like poking him. It was like, take this.
And you thought that through. I mean, I'm gonna tie him up.
That's what it takes. That's from now on. John Haymaker's like, from now on, every woman he dates must wear flat shoes. Listen, I'm telling you, women, they have to take their shoes at the door. They got to take the shoes off at the door. I mean, you got to take your shoes off at the door anyway. Now you got to take your shoes off at the door. You can't bring them in the room or anything. That's why I don't allow no handcuffing. I don't allow no restraining devices. I'm no nothing. I ain't into none of that shit.
Okay.
None of that stuff because
you ain't giving over your power, huh?
No. Nope, not at all. No one's getting me like that. That's get got, and I'm getting got. It's not. You can't. I don't want. Cops running up on you and seeing the murder scene and say, "Look at this fool." You and now look what happened to him. Nope. I ain't getting got like that. It ain't gonna happen with me. Not at all. Peachy Keen says, cleaning that mess up. I can't imagine flesh in the tub with me. Ugh, nasty. Yeah, that's not no Epsom salt up in there.
Mara said, sit on the couch because she was sitting on the couch regular.
Oh my God.
She was on the couch with all that blood.
Now, Miria from Game of Thrones person must be, says they loved that scene. Did you really? Mm-hmm. Fred Hampton says he loved it. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Let's see what the Ruby high heel fight for sure. Tracy, that was no fight. I don't think we can classify that as a fight. I think we can only classify that as just
it was a rape.
A straight rape. That was definitely a prison moment, a cell block moment, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, that was a Felice Johnson moment.
She never missed. It was just like,
oh, it was right. Her accuracy was on point. You know, her accuracy was on point. At 98, there was no Vaseline involved in this one. There was. I just don't know how she thought of it. You know what I mean? Like, did she when she went in there? She said, "This is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to drive this heel up this man's ass. He's going to take this, and that's what he's going." Because she had to. Oh, she just think of it all in the moment. I think she planned that. She definitely do. Without a shadow of a doubt. And then we talking still about Ruby when she's having sex after the Emmett Tills, that same episode. This episode was loaded, the Emmett Tills episode. We're gonna go by like what's the next episode, do another thing like that and go through them. But this episode is definitely look. She's having sex with William, and while she's having sex with him, the skin. I listen. I don't know if he fucked it off her, the orgasm made it come off her. Because it seemed, you know, that was a weird thing too. Like it came off her very quick, and also when we seen like before when she got clawed, it seemed like the skin peeled off pretty easily. But when Christina was as Ruby and was fighting Letty, that skin wasn't coming off at all. You know, and he was
because she wasn't changing back. That's why I feel like she wanted to change
during that time. So she only drank a certain amount, knowing that she would change during the act of sex.
I don't know. It felt like she had at the beginning, it felt like she didn't have a control over it. But I felt like if she controlled it, the more she was the white woman, I felt like she controlled when she wanted to turn back, or she knew when she was gonna turn back. I just felt like the orgasm was just awesome, and she wanted to experience it as herself because that was real. You know what I'm saying?
I think they were what they were going for. You know, because she says that. She didn't want to be a black woman sleeping with a white man. That's why she changed on that day because of what happened. So she felt guilty. She felt guilty that she wanted to get dick from this man, but she felt guilty that she was with a white man when this young boy was killed by white men, and she just had to come from the funeral. Right. But I think they were trying to show that, you know, even though you faked and you acting like you somebody else, it really is still you.
Right.
You. So you could try to pretend like you somebody else, but it's you and you want. And Christina called her out in the episode that she was like, "You don't care about nothing. You don't you should care." And she was like, "I don't care. What about you? You the one up in here with me. You the one doing this. You the one doing that." Right. You know what I mean? So I got, you know, Christina put her in a place in that point right there and everything else. People want to know, is Ruby a lesbian? How did you take it at the end? Was Ruby I wouldn't say she was a lesbian. I would say if anything she's bisexual, because I still think she was interested in men. So I wouldn't say a lesbian, but what would you think?
I feel like bisexual. I felt like she learned to love Christina. She really liked it, William. I honestly didn't think she liked it, Christina towards the end. And then, I mean, I felt like she learned because they're real. I felt like she got to know Christina, but I feel like she maybe
Yeah,
both of them. I don't think Christina liked women either. I think as William, she just bonded with Ruby. Ruby bonded with William first, and that relationship grew.
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. I think she liked William, but then realized William was Christina and was like all the other stuff that William was saying to me really was what Christina saying this way. So she kind of like got feelings for William, but she allowed herself to have feelings for Christina at the same time and everything else. So yeah, I thought that was,
and you know it's bad for you when your family don't want you to be with her. So that made it worse.
Sometimes your family could see stuff that you can't see or that you don't want to see because they always have someone looking from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? You could definitely see what was, you know, and you could see things out. You know, listen, men get booty-matized all the time, constantly. It's a constant thing. Dudes be getting booty-matized and they can't see straight. You know, they just thinking that this is what it is and everything else. I myself, the Don Tony Teflon, I've been booty-matized. Of course it happens. It happens to everyone. Okay. You know, but you don't see what these women are really up to and everything. And because you just wanted, you wanted to be one way. That's like, that song that BVD made. I thought it was me back in the day. I thought it was me that made that girl so wild. Yep. Found like she's like that with all the guys. Yep. That's booty. That's what that is. Hashtag booty baptized. All right. Watch it. And that's what it is. That's the way it goes. All right. I think you brought that up, so I have to think of a moment. It's not hard for me to think of the. I can't even see straight booty baptized. All right. So another one of these damn what the fuck moments that happen in the show is Jiha in general. You can just go with what she was. Now, when I first seen the initial a trailer of Jiha, and I seen that thing coming out her ear, like it just showed that little piece coming out. I thought it was like a little worm. I thought maybe it was a worm that was used to take over people, like it was some type of thing like that.
Right.
I had no idea it was going to be a tail. That's what they described them as, tails. And not only was it going to come out of her ear, but it was going to come out her buttocks, her JJ, both eyeballs, her mouth, her nostril. It came out of every orifice that she had. It came out of.
I know. Ooh. In the introduction, we got to it because that first guy got it the worst. Ooh.
He did. Because I didn't expect it to happen. I thought she was, because when you hit, she's like, because the mom is like, you have to bring men back here to bring honor back to this house. And I'm thinking like, oh, they need a man around so that the people in town respect them. They didn't really respect it because there was no man in the house. Right. I'm thinking it's some situation like that. So she just need a husband, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So she get back there and she lay, she I knew something was crazy when she lit the candle and all the candles lit together. I was like, wait a second. What kind of candles is this, goddamn? Electric candles that we don't know about back then.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, she's naked and everything else. And one time us guys got to see a naked female body for a little bit, but they showed the Asian man more, which was not fair for us men again. But anyway, it's true.
That was the first time.
Y'all done seen, they show more naked men by far than naked women in this show. It ain't even close. It ain't even close. You seen every shade of man ass there is in this planet. You seen Asian, black, white. Only thing they didn't see is Puerto Rican.
Men got a lot too out of here. Y'all got boobs and
dude, we got one shot of the boobs on stage. We didn't get we didn't get Ruby's boobs like real boobs
a lot.
Huh?
What's Gia? You got to see her boobs a lot.
Oh,
but it's not after dark. We gotta keep going.
We can't talk about that stuff. All right. Anyway, so how did you feel when you seen her execute this maneuver? When you first seen it, I mean, the one that got me the worst was when it came out the eye. The way they showed the close up of the eyeball and just pushed to the side and it shot out of that.
Right. I don't even know if it's necessary for all those tails. I was shocked. I didn't know what that was. What she was. It just like, ooh, I don't know what did she even do? She just takes their soul, but then she blows them up. What was it?
I don't know. The whole body explodes though.
Yeah, because all the tails just.
I don't know if it rips them apart.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I just know like there was a body left because you've seen a mom coming in just like clean the blood up, and how many times she cleaned that blood up with 99 times?
Right. I mean, fast. I mean, she was waiting at the door.
Like she should have just like had a train with a couple of dudes, but like 3 of them in at one time, and knock 3 out at one time or something like that. You know, she should have done something like that. But no, I thought that I loved her whole episode. I thought the episode was great. Everything about it, the actress just played a tremendous role. Still, everything she did was phenomenal. But her ripping apart Mara, she's up in here. She know everything. She's telling us. That's why we glad to have her. Takes their soul's tail of salt and rips
them apart.
Ugh. That is crazy. If anyone has any questions or anything else like that, we definitely have that. Secretary of Sound says, "What the fuck? The birth of those monsters and the people that live there." Oh
Yeah.
that is definitely one. I don't know about the people. The people that people that seem like regular racist rednecks to me with pitchforks, but they pulling that monster out of that cow's ass was like something very unexpected. How did you feel when you seen that?
I was wondering, did the people around Christina, did they actually see the monster, or were they seeing a cow being born? You know what I'm saying? Was only the audience and Christina know what was coming out that cow? That's what my question was.
I don't know. Did that monster have sex with that cow to impregnate that cow? Is that what they do?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, how the baby get inside the cow? Do they just run? Those monsters just run after cows and
right.
have sex with cows, or is it like some type of cow baby that is then has some magic put on it? You know what I mean?
It had to be magic.
All right, I'm not
gonna
cows. I'm gonna say the last name because I know I could say Mosley. Mosley says, "Don't mess with Kimoto. She's a real life Pokemon." Yeah, I would think that is a Pokemon character,
right?
Without a doubt. We gonna talk about that in 1 second. But yeah, I just don't know how they got impregnated in the first place. Did they really just go after these cows? Did they just tackle a cow and just hold the cow down with its mouth and do its thing? I don't know. I don't know. There's something going on there, and I don't want to know. I just know I don't want to be a part of it. We do have Mara. She says she wants to talk about the black Shoggoth. She named him Rufus. All right. Rufus, Blinky. I don't know what everyone's calling. Everyone's got names for this thing. How did you feel about the black Shoggoth when that scene happened to come up?
Oh, that was awesome. It looked awesome. The timing, I still don't think the spell worked though, but it was awesome. That whole scene was awesome. This lady coming out trying to save her man, didn't have to because it came up. Bow, I'm here, and then they kept it. Like,
yeah, that was the best one. I mean, you have to keep it though, right?
It's like like they just kept it in the basement.
I would keep it too. I mean, everyone wants to have a pet like Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Everyone's dream that I could have a dinosaur for a pet.
Right.
I could have some, whatever, some creature that could whoop some ass. Everybody would love to have a creature that could whoop some ass. You know what I mean? That would be great. You know what I mean? And I thought it was amazing, especially the way it all came out, because it looked like the spell didn't work. And again, as they did in this show a lot, they took a lot of modern day things, and these problems existed back then too, and throughout history. But now it's because it's modern times, we can still see that they're still going on. A black man coming in the street, confronted by police with nothing on him, puts his hands up, and still getting shot at. Still getting shot and getting killed, just like it happens today. But this time we turned it off, turned the plug on him, turned it around, and we pulled out a black Shoggoth fall. And I love the fact that it was black. I think that was great that they made him black.
Stronger than the other ones. The eyes was different. I liked it.
Yeah, he ran right through them all. He was running right through them like it was no problem for them.
Yeah.
I know people out there, Shadowcat Bex from the Creators Guild. She was like, I want to see a show just with D and the Shoggoth. This them two going on the missions together this war.
Like that.
She's like, I'm all about that and everything else. Oh, they got their Pokemon with a black. I bet you they will make a Pokemon with that right there. Fred Hampton says they're born instead of cow. Now, Fred, do you have insider knowledge of this or something like that? Maybe I don't know. Maybe he said Fred Hampton Oh, Fred Hampton is my hero. So this is not because I looked at I looked at the picture
Right.
and I was like, that Fred?
Right.
That's a Fred? Is that you, Fred? I was like, Fred, what's going on, buddy? Because you don't look like Fred, but Fred Hampton is your hero. I understand the name now. It says small parasites inserted into a pregnant cow. It kills the baby cow as food. I mean, that sounds very feasible for that to happen. I could see that happening all day, them doing something like that. It would make more sense instead of the cow being raped by this. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. Sorry about that. All right, people. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. People hit me up on telephones while I'm busy. I have everything like that. You know. Now I looked down. I was like, Fred.
Vow 287. Yeah, because I do believe that strong magical blood is
Yeah, it was definitely because of Tick's blood. You know, because and definitely you could say that it was definitely wrong. It was a wrong spell. It wasn't supposed to happen because Montrose, they stressed the fact he was dyslexic and he was the one reading this. He could have read it wrong because they were just trying to do a protection spell, right? That's what they were trying to do. They're trying to do the same thing that Letty had. They wanted to put on him. So in fact, it was a protection spell, but it was more like a protector. I think he got a protector instead of having protection spell on. So I thought that they did a great job. Any of y'all have any WTF moments? Please put them in the chat and everything else for the Don Tony Teflon. And my guest Tamara is rocking with me tonight, all the way from Atlanta, right?
Yep, that's right.
From the ATL.
ATL.
Repping an ATL. Repping the ATL. Appreciate that. Appreciate Hotlanta. Sorry, I'll say it right. Gotta say it right. Let's say anything else to people in the chat. I say before we move on to anything else.
I do have to go back though. I want to take it back. I forgot about Letty in the back and the car and the music and that episode was good. I mean, the ghost, the everything. I like the episode, but that bat and Letty hitting those cars and that music's taking what she felt. I loved it.
I thought it was a great scene. Number one, obviously, so in that scene we have these racist dudes that go and they put the bricks on the horns just so that they can make noise. And I don't know how that works with the other neighbors, just allow them to do it, and how their batteries in their cars just last all day. But that's another situation. But the point that Letty at this particular time, they had the party up in there. This is everything. They had the party, and Letty, that was a very sexy look she had on her face when she was grinding that dude. I think that was a very, very sexy look. I love that look she had on her face. And she just looked at Tick, and Tick was like, okay. And then, the only thing I like about that scene was that what she did, he took her in the toilet. He could have did better than that. For her first time had to be in the toilet room. I would have liked to have a better time than that. You know what I mean? Every girl's first time deserves to be better than the toilet.
That's true, but he didn't know. No,
he didn't know. And she was.
And the way she was grinding on the floor, he didn't know. He definitely didn't know.
Nah, she looked like she knew exactly what she was doing. Yeah, she looked like she was a professional. Even when she jumped on him, and she didn't make noises like it was her first time. Like, ouch.
Right. Yep, right. Just a little moan, right?
Yeah, she was like, "Slow down, you hurt me." Didn't say anything. She just did her thing, and then he just bailed on her right after that. It's like he was just gone. Like,
no, he told him to go. Remember, he was shocked.
Oh yes.
Okay, go downstairs. Like,
yeah, she was like, "Get out of here."
Right.
And then she came downstairs, and then that was it. She was like a house of fire. She grabbed that bat, and then she went out there just busting windows out and just knocking everything out. And I thought it was a very empowering woman moment. You know what I mean? And I think when that happened, when I did my review after that, I said to her, this is Letty's TV show. I said, from what I'm seeing right now, I said, though Jonathan Majors is the headlining of this show, to me, it was no doubt that Letty was the leader of this show, and the show was driven by her. And as we can see, that's the case. The show is driven by her, and if it's going to show, it's going to continue, which it better continue. It'll be all about her. I don't know if I want to see her with some other dude though.
Right. And I did like that little moment after she lost her virginity. She went straight to Ruby, even though she didn't speak about it or tell her about it. You know, it's just like, I need a woman, I need my mom, I need my sister. You know what I'm saying? Kind of moment. She sat by her sister. That was kind of nice too.
It was nice. It was nice. It definitely was
Before
nice.
Got the back.
Now, though I put up a video, we could talk about this. I just put my last video I put up was is Ruby coming back to life? Is she dead or is she alive? What do you think about that situation? Do you think that Ruby's dead, or you think she's alive?
No, she's alive. I think if she's not, she's able to be brought back. I mean, Lady was. I think because she got killed off screen is because it's just a lot of possibilities. She could be, because we don't know exactly what Christina did to her. Yeah, she said she killed her, but I don't think so. I just don't. And if she did, they got all the power in the world to bring anybody they want back. So I don't think that's a problem.
Well, she could bring it back. We did see Letty get brought back to life, so that's why I think that she is dead. I think she's dead, but I think that she can be brought back to life with this spell if they got to her in time or whatever. I think they could bring her back the same way they brought Letty back. Because Letty, they got the book of names, and I would think that book has all the spells to do all that stuff in it. So
because Christina didn't have to kill her either, because the white lady wasn't dead; she was in a coma. I mean,
that's one though. All right, so yes, but William was dead.
Yeah, William was dead.
William was dead. So one person was dead, one person was in a coma,
right?
One person was dead, and that's why I had to get on y'all people. Now I'm saying y'all specifically here, people in the chat who were messing with me. They're messing with me.
What they say?
The comment section saying, because I said that Ruby murdered that chick, and they kept saying, no, she didn't murder her. She was already dead. She was brain dead. She was dead. So I was like, if that's the case, then you got to say the same thing about Ruby. Oh no, Ruby alive. Oh, Ruby alive in the coma. I was like, oh, wait a second. Not Ruby alive, but this chick was dead. That's true. It's the same thing. Y'all just want to get on me about stuff, but I understand how fans are and everything else. I understand people have their favorite, and Ruby is a favorite. She is definitely one of the top favorites and everything, without a shadow of doubt. You know, but it is what it is. I'm here for that vetting. I'm all about that. I just tell people, if you're gonna say it in the comment, don't think I won't comment back. I'm not one of the other YouTubers who just see the comments and keep it going. I'm commenting back. I'm going to comment back. Like it or not, you're going to get a comment. If you leave a comment on my thing, especially if it's trying to get at me or whatever, you expect that comment come back. I'm saying my piece. That's just my goddamn channel, and that's what it is. Yeah. So I think that people said Ruby's on a ventilator. I know she's on a ventilator. You know, people who go on ventilators usually don't come off ventilators. You usually get on a ventilator. It's very rare that you make it off. But I'm gonna say that she's dead, but she will come back because Letty and them will bring her back. I think she's a very important character going forward. And I have a whole thing about Ruby of how I think season 2 is gonna play out.
What? Tell us.
I can't just give it all away if you won't watch my video now.
Oh, okay.
But I have a whole thing of how I think season 2 is gonna play out. I see it right now. How it goes. And no, I didn't read the books or anything like that. And I said, all right. Bernadette is saying Hippolyta I Am episode. It was a WTF episode. I would say that whole episode that was a WTF moment. Everything about it. Especially, we have a lot of different things like Afrofuturism we get in there. How did you feel when you first go through the episode? When you first seen her there and you seen this alien woman with the afro and everything, how did that make you feel?
Empowered. I mean, come on. I mean, it was cool. She was intelligent. I didn't know what the hell she was in. I didn't know if she was I didn't know if it was in her head or what. It was cool. And then the afro, I mean, it was cool. The scene was cool. I just felt like that whole episode, I felt like they cheated Hippolyta because it seemed like it started halfway during the episode. You know what I'm saying? She could have got a bigger episode, I think.
There's no doubt about it. Val says it was a beautiful scene. Chrissy also says that was the best episode. I think we're gonna come and do a show of top episode. I'm gonna have people on, and I want everyone to pick their top episode, and we will have a whole debate of why they thought that episode. We'll go through all the episodes, and then we come to a consensus of what we think was the best episode of the season. All the episodes, I don't think I rated any episode below 8.5 all season. So all the episodes was all great. Yeah, I love the fact that they showed it like that. I love the fact that they showed that this future of, it was like, how could I say? It was like alien Wakanda,
Right.
It was like that, like we got our just desserts finally.
Right.
You know what I mean? We were the future, and we showed, and we had the technology, and we had the power, and we were able to, show how smart we were and everything else. And it just made me feel good just to be, it's as a Black person in this country, it's those moments of few and far between, unfortunately. I just think that so this to see stuff like that, especially they're very conscious to put the woman in the forefront. They could have made that, and normal people, I'm telling you, if it wasn't a woman, Misha wasn't doing it, that would have been a man with a big afro up there. It wouldn't have been a woman. It would have been a man showing her all those roles. But I think the fact that we had a woman running the show, that was a woman, and I think that was the right call. Michelle says the goal about naming yourself is that you literally can be whatever you want. Power. The choices that Ruby made were about gaming access, not necessary power. I agree with this comment to an extent. I think the first place that she named herself when she wanted to be a part of the dance troupe, dancing with this woman, she didn't think it would happen.
Right. That was kind of like a joke. Like, what?
Yeah, it was a joke. Like,
right. Okay, I did the same thing.
Yeah, and then boom, she was there. So that one I thought she was just everything else.
But she still learned a lot. I mean,
oh, I thought someone put my real name up there for a second, but they didn't. All right, but yeah. So I thought she and it was that woman who empowered her and showed her, that hey, you're beautiful, you're this, that, you could be whatever, you could be whatever you want.
She was,
and we did get to see some boobies in that episode. So that was, huh?
You got a lot in the episode.
Man, don't get mad about it.
It was cool.
It was cool. All right. Yeah, Hippolyta. You be Hippolyta. Did I say Hippolyta? I just say Hippolyta, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, we talk about Hippolyta. And so I think that the first time she did it, she didn't realize what she liked, and yeah, she learned a whole lot about herself from Josephine. And then the second time she went out, you know what I mean? Oh, she all right. So Michaela was speaking on Ruby, not Hippolyta. All right, so I understand. I'm sorry about that. I'm just we talking about Hippolyta right now, but I understand exactly what you're saying, Michaela. But so it's just a little. It doesn't matter. All right, we know we at. But Hippolyta, with the second time when she went and she was when she took control, and she was in there and getting her ass whooped in the beginning until she became strong enough to whoop that ass and take over. And I love that little war scene they had and the way they whooped them men's ass, because that is like you have the Amazons, and that her name and her daughter's name are basically Amazonians, and they're supposed to be the kings of the Amazon, the queens of the Amazons, and Diana and this is Hippolyta, not Hippolyta. It was pronounced that way. It would be pronounced that way, but Wonder Woman and her mother,
right?
And Diana is Wonder Woman and stuff, so you would see it that way. But I thought that I love the fight scene. You gotta understand, people like the original Amazons were Black women out there in Africa, and there was stories that were made up about them. They made up these stories because the other tribe people went there to conquer them, and they got their ass kicked by these women. And they were embarrassed that they got their ass kicked by these women. So they made up these lies saying, oh, these women are 7 feet tall and blah, 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 because they were so embarrassed they get their ass kicked. And then that's how the whole Amazon thing came to light and stuff and all of that. So the real Amazons really were black women. They weren't that tall or anything else. That they just whipped that ass so bad these dudes were embarrassed. They had to make up lies and say these are 7 foot tall ladies that weigh 350 pounds, and that's why we lost. No, you lost because they were vicious, or you came in their head, you got that ass whooped.
Right.
That's it.
I'm just happy you could be a woman, a black woman. You could be sexual, you could be smart, and you could be strong. You know what I'm saying? That was just powerful.
It was very powerful, and that's something that that in this world that they try to take away from you as a black woman. I'm not saying myself as black women. That is the one thing that they try to take away from black women. They don't allow them to be all those things, right? So if you're too sexy and you're a black woman, you're a hoe. If you stick up for yourself, you're manly. You see it all the time, and that's just the way they do black women. Look at Michelle Obama. How many times do I see white people when she was up there, she's a man. Oh, she's a man.
Right.
How is she a man? Why would you? That's all you can say. She's smart. She's intellectual. She's strong. She's on Ellen show doing push-ups like what? Like nothing out push-up in her. Oh, now she's a man. Because you have nothing else you could say. You can't think of anything bad to say. So it's the only thing you could say. You know what I mean? And it comes back to everything. And that's why when I look at the whole situation, black women, my black woman, don't ever let anyone believe you. Put that in your face. Because the bottom line is people want to be you. And when they were more than any other people in the world, they all want to be you, and that's just the bottom line. Everything they say is to be like you. Everything, the procedure they get is to look like you. Everything you do is to be like you. So they just want to be you and take your place and push you out. And
Ruby learned that too. That's what she said. Remember?
I would hope that was what Ruby her whole thing was to learn what's about was that. Excuse me, was that to learn that to love herself as a black woman. Though you may have some hard times, in your life, you could have hard times being black, and it may not all be fair, but in the end, it's still worth it. In the end, you know what I mean. I've never wanted to be anything but black ever in my life. I've never wanted to be another race. I looked up to other people. Now, like you got to have your people on the. You have to have your people on TV to look up to, to make you want to be like. And when I was young, there was no one there for me to look up to, be like. There was no one on TV that I looked up. Like I didn't want to be Theo Huxtable. Like I seen him and I was like, I don't want to be him. He's corny. I'll knock him out, But it was really like Mike Tyson and Eddie Murphy were like really like the first black men. Like, yeah, I would love to be like Mike Tyson. I would love to be Eddie Murphy. It was like those are the guys that I looked up to, and that's who I wanted to be and everything else. So that is what it is. But you have to have those. It's very important to have that. And after that, it was like Eazy-E. I remember I wanted to be Eazy-E.
I love Eazy-E.
Oh yeah, I tried to get Jerry. My mom forbid. I would have had Jerry curls. I would have had my mom was like, "You ain't getting no goddamn Jerry curls." I said, "No, mom.
Right.
I need to have them."
Well, John had a question. Why did she treat other black women in the department store like crap? I think it was just tough love. For me, I think it was tough love because she worked hard. Even though she didn't get the job, she wanted that job. She had experience. And Tamara didn't have any experience. And she just wanted to, make sure that since you're here, you got to be the best you can be. You got to work harder than everybody else. She had to work harder than all the white women. They were downstairs trying on clothes while Tamara was upstairs working. I mean, it just is what it is. That's just how. I think that's how we raise our kids. In a black household, we have to just be tough on our children and just be like, hey, no matter what you do, you gotta be better than everybody else. I mean, not better than everybody else, but better than them. You gotta work extra harder. That's what I mean.
That's the bottom line. You have to do. You have to do. You have to be. You can't just do par level. You can't be.
Right.
There's no even playing field. I'll say.
Right.
I'll tell you like this, and this happened to me. Just recently happened to me. I went for a job, a higher position in my job, and I lost out to this one dude, and this dude was like he failed drug tests, crashed vehicles. He missed 1,000,000 days in a row. He didn't have any type of good recommendations from anybody. Though I had all good recommendations from everybody. I never missed a day in 4 years. I never been in an accident ever. I never had any write-ups, and they still gave him the job over me. And when they gave him that job over me, I said to myself, I said, this was the best thing that ever happened to you. You can't look at it like you lost out. I said, because there's now you realize right now that no matter what you do, this is where they see you. They're never going to make you anything more than what you are right now.
Right.
Because they're not willing. They're willing to give this guy the job over you. They'll give anyone the job over. They're not trying to give you the job no matter what. It didn't matter who applied. If you were the only person that applied, they would have went outside the company and hired somebody. And that made me realize, and that's what people have to realize a lot of times people, they live for their job and they work for their job and everything else. And I don't do that. I don't live for I do my job when I'm there, and but I don't live for my job. I'm not breaking my ass for a company that could just let you go and then you have nothing, and they'll just put someone right in your space. So that's what made me say, that's when I really started writing my books and saying, you know what, I got to do what's best for me. And then that's when I started writing my books even more and getting my stuff out there even more and pushing forward. And if that didn't ever happen to me, I probably would have never done that. If I got that job, I would have put more of my focus onto that company that's not mine, that I'm just working for somebody else, making them more money instead of writing my books like I should be.
Right.
So what up to LMR is up in the building. Thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. Our co-host who's usually here, but with me rocking on the show, but she has a family and she cannot be here all the time and stuff like that. And that's what's up. But we have a beautiful woman filling in, Tamara. And Tamara is the reason why I'm doing the show, actually, because I don't want to get technical about it. I wouldn't even be here tonight if it wasn't for her. She hit me up.
Oh my goodness.
You did. It asked if I was going to stream tonight, and I wasn't going to stream tonight. But she asked if I would do it, and I said, "All right, I will do it. I will get it on here and everything else." John Haymaker says, "I thought she was jealous that she got the job instead of her." I think that there could be a little bit of jealousy in there and everything. And what up to Linda R? See you up in there. Hello to you too. I think it was a little bit of jealousy, but I also just think that when you're more qualified than someone and someone gets the job. You know what I mean? It's a different situation. I don't know if it's jealousy. It's just that that you're 1,000 times more qualified than this person, but yet you weren't called back and everything else. And, it comes down to, I would say it may be a little of the look situation. This was a skinny little black woman compared to Ruby, who's a beautiful woman, but you know what I mean? In the white world, skinny is the way to be. So maybe they said, hey, let's just hire this skinny black woman instead of this bigger black woman, because maybe the skinny black woman will attract more people and stuff like that, and everything else. So I think it could be a situation like that and all that. So I think it goes both ways. Go ahead.
She could have been jealous, but she also asked her, like, hey, how did you get this? Where did you go? I think she wanted to like bond with her like another woman on her level. And it was like, oh, you didn't do none of this. Like, I think she was just disappointed in her more than jealous.
Siren says, exactly, Tony, because of racism, more black folk have started their own business. I would hope so. I think that black people should start their own business. It's the smartest thing you could do. It's the smartest thing you could do is make your own money, make some type of passive income. Someone says it's a good question from Hannah's child. Is that who's that?
I don't understand this question.
Where is it? Did I miss it? Is Nymeria? Is it Nymeria's question? I don't know. I don't know what the question is. I can't find it. All right, we'll see what later. All right, and Rosaline Cooper is more importantly we supporting each other more. That's the most important thing. What I shout with that is support. You got to support people, man. I put that in my last episode, and I got some bad comments that I put that in my review that I said that, and people, I had to delete those comments, but I didn't really care. I knew I would get bad comments from saying it, but I don't care. I'm saying the truth, and that's I say the truth. People you like it, you don't like it. I don't really give a goddamn. Oh, that's man, it's my channel. You don't want to listen to it, you ain't got to listen. They don't force you to listen to it, and that's what it is. All right, we have more. What the F moments going on in this thing? What other ones do you have? I mean, every episode there's something.
Yeah, every episode.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm trying to think of the next one. I guess the last episode.
Oh, we got one right here. We'll take Mosley's before we go into that. It's the exploration of Montrose's best friend. We saw in episode 1 getting a BJ by a brother who ran away, then seeing him as a drag queen with his fellow queens in the fit. All right, we go back to Montrose and everything else. We're going back to Montrose real quick. All right. Now, first we get the rumor that Montrose is gay, could be. Turns out that he is. And this actor who plays this role, he does. I'm not saying he plays gay characters all the time, but his most iconic character to me is Omar, who was a Banshee boy. Is that, did y'all say Banshee boy down south? Is that a term that y'all use down there? What was the term y'all use for thugs that would get homosexual?
I don't know, just DL.
This DL guy,
right?
Omar wasn't really DL. We say Banshee boys in New York or that, but yeah, these thugged out guys who are homosexual on the low. Usually it is on the low. Usually it's a prison thing. I remember they did it's something when Oprah does a show on it. And I remember Oprah did a show on it. You know what I mean? So when Oprah doing the show on it, it's something.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at his fact that he had that iconic character, and then when they said it about him, it made me think that that's what it was. I know what it was. And they show the scene, show him come in there and with the guy, and and he really doesn't have any mercy with this guy. He really treats him pretty badly. He just on himself, and he does his thing with him, and the guy's like, you don't even kiss me, you don't do anything like this and all that. How did you feel about that whole situation with Montrose?
Montrose was just acting on what he learned. It was just learned behavior. He didn't know how to love or show love, and when he did, it was taken away from him. So his first love got killed in front of him. I mean, he just was protecting himself. I think he just learned how to put a wall up and protect himself from childhood. I don't think he meant anything about it, but I don't know if I can get into this, but I know on a lot of other platforms, a lot of people were very angry at his character for being that way. Well, I guess a lot of people are angry for portraying. They feel like the shows nowadays are really portraying African American males in that light, but I don't feel it that way. Huh?
Who said that?
A lot of people, like even on Instagram, a lot of people were just upset about that episode. When they couldn't watch it, they was like, "Why do we need to see this?" But I don't see anything.
Right. So they're saying that Hollywood is trying to portray black men as homosexuals,
right?
And it's not right to do that.
and they feed it to us. That's what they say.
Right. Well, I would say there's a lot of black homosexuals out there.
Right.
Now, listen, I'm telling you, there's a lot of black homosexuals in the hip hop industry, in the Hollywood industry, in all of acting. There's a lot of homosexual men, whether it's black, Spanish, Asian. There's a lot of them. Black people are not homosexual. Yeah, it has nothing to do. This was made by a black man, Jordan Peele, and a black woman.
Right.
So how would she be trying to throw it in people's faces? This is a fact of every community. There's homosexual people in every community. And I think that they did a very good job of portraying exactly what it would have been like to be a gay black man in that time. And listen, the rap game is loaded with gay dudes. The rap and R&B is, I can't say dudes' names, but trust me, it's not one or two dudes. It's the majority of these rappers out there. The majority. It ain't even like it's a couple. It's I'm telling you, it's over 50% of them dudes out there is gay. Period. Right. And they just fronting because they don't want to get made fun of, because they feel like they're gonna get made fun of. And I think that's kind of has something to do with the Montrose situation and everything else. That's the reason why Omar was a successful character. Nobody said, "Oh, that's unrealistic."
Right.
No, because people know that there's a bunch of Omars out there. That was just a real show that really put that up in there. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's just the bottom line. Elizabeth Taylor said that 90% of the men in Hollywood were homosexual. She said because in order to be an actor and be in touch with your feelings that you have to be as a man, you have to have a certain amount of femininity in your body. And that's why most of those men in there are 100 are gay, and they just won't come out with it. If you look it up, there's a lot of rumors about a lot of different people, and a lot of when there's rumors like that about just usually that's what it is. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I think what has to happen is that people need to get away from the stigma, and if people were just proud of who they were, like I knew that I knew this kid out here. His name was Derek. And it was obvious Derek was gay. It was obvious. Like there's, come on, Derek. I know a gay man when and he's always front. I mean, everything from the sound of his voice to where he walked, he's gay. And no, I'm not gay. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? And then, he would dance with chicks and everyone knew he ain't wanting to do no chick, and he'd be dancing with them in the bar and everything else. Then all of a sudden, 2 years later, he come out, he gay. People made fun of him for like 3 months. Now he living his best life. No one say nothing to him. Everyone's still, hey, what up, Dave? What up, D? Everyone know he got his boyfriend, everything else. Everyone know what it. No one said, and that's what it comes down to. You got to be able just to go through that. Yeah, you're gonna have people that are gonna troll you for a little bit. They're gonna troll you forever. It's only gonna be temporarily, because people are maybe that same exact way, and they scared. That's why they troll you. You know what I mean? So you go through that little thing like that, and then you get to live your best life instead of having to hide something out. And that's what I think people need to do. They need to, and until predominant people in this music industry, the rap industry, and all that come out and say, "This is who I am. I'm proud of who I am," and that's it. That's just the way it's gonna be. Look at that dude from New York Undercover. That dude that played. Right. He came out. He came out in front. You know what I mean? He came out but didn't want to come out. Oh, I like transsexual women, but I'm not. I like women that dress up like men. Like men dress up like women, but I'm not gay. Really? Really, son? Come on, man. Just say your whole truth. You don't have to go halfway about it. Use your whole truth. Say your whole truth about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, Malik Yoba, you're correct. Yep. I did a whole episode. We did a whole episode on Malik Yoba. But I think that's what it comes down to. But I thought that, going back to the whole butterfly thing with Ruby, that they did a really good job in showing, it, because he went through everything in that. He got his ass whooped by Tick, which I'm sure Tick was like, hey, this is for all them ass whoopings you gave me all these years. I'm a grown ass man now, and I'm whooping your ass.
Right.
You know how I feel. So he had to go through that pain and everything else and all that secretism to where he just felt like at the end with his black eye, even though he had a black eye, he was beat up, he was bruised up. This man still accepted him for who he was, didn't say, oh, you got a black eye, man, get away from me. You know, he still was like, yo, I love you, I'm with you. And the glitter fell on top of him and he was raised up and he had a butterfly outfit. The person that was hanging on to him, if you looked underneath, they all had like butterfly looking at patterns on their thing. And they brought him down, and then that was it. He kissed the guy, and I thought that they did a really good job on it. So I don't understand why people got mad about that. I don't understand why always throwing it in the face. I don't understand why people got mad about that. To me, those people who got mad, I wish they can come on here and tell me why they got mad about it. Oh, we want to show black men who are gay. What do you mean? You want to show black? That's like saying, oh, we don't want to see no movies with black people who are slaves or showing us to be a slave. Yeah, it was a fact. It was what it was. Doesn't mean that's who we are now. You should be proud of that you were able to overcome that. People were able to get past that and leave you in the position you're in. You don't, that's like having a drug addict for a family member and disowning him.
Right.
Drugs, you don't do that. You don't abandon them to your family. You stand behind them, and that's what it is. Mosley says it was a beautiful acceptance of himself, and I agree with you and everything. Val says, yeah, Montrose let Tick beat him up. I think he did take the beating. I don't think he would have won. I don't think he could have beat him, but I think he did accept the beating, like he deserved it, like he just took it, and everything else. But he whooped him. He whipped him to the point he was afraid of him. Right. But that was years and years and years of built up frustration of everything else and all that. I don't know nothing about that. Security sounds. I'm not into any of that, so I really don't know nothing about that. Let's see. Men are XY. So you are female too. All right. If you want to say, I feel you on that. Well, I mean, guess you would say the same thing, right? If you go through the Bible or whatever, like the woman was born of man, right? Right. Come from a river man, so I guess we the same in some way, right? So it would be, I think it would probably be the other way around. So the female would be man too, or I don't know. Whatever, we the same. Kind of, we ain't the same thing. Right. Thank God.
Thank God.
I want all the gay guys just to be gay, so I could just be where I'm at, and I could show all these ladies. Yeah, be gay over. Go be gay. Go. I've encouraged people to be gay to be gay, so that's competition for me. I got my own priorities here, goddamn.
Right.
All right. What else do we have? We're gonna wrap it up in a little bit because I had you on here for an hour and a half. I don't want to have you on here too late. I don't know if you got plans. I'm sure everyone's got plans. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You don't want me out too late.
No, of course not. And everything else. Anybody else has any? We could do. We could do more with the F moments. I mean, there's so many. We're not gonna get them all done tonight. We'll go through one more. Anyone else have any other what the F moment? I mean, you said something about the last episode. What about the last episode? Which one?
Oh, for me, I think the biggest one for me was D. What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, the arm, the ending.
All right, so go dealing with D, the whole situation, dealing with D, and we see that the arm didn't heal properly, and I thought it was good the way that her mother took the acceptance of her being mad at her. It's like, you have every right to be mad at me. And then she still was like, I'm still gonna help you out and everything. Obviously, but after that, what up, Joe Kelly, chilling from Facebook. Like people, if you can't get to YouTube, you can always go to Teflon TV on Facebook. It runs on that too, so you can always go there and watch this, and it'll be up here. The whole episode will be up here after. So I thought that they did a good job with that, and I wish they would have showed inside the room, but truly they didn't have to show.
They
didn't have to. Now it's just two situations when you look at it. Did she have the technology right there to fix Dee's arm herself, or did she have the device to go into the future and do it? What do you think?
Could be both, but I do think she's working in a lab in the house. I mean, you hear the machines. I mean, it could have been a future time machine, but I think she just, I mean, she had it there. She could have made it in days or whatever. I mean,
you don't know exactly how long it was there and everything else, and I knew it was that because after that they didn't show her arm anymore. They kept having like the blood, like the jacket over it, and I was like, oh, something's fishy with this chick's arm. This is what it is. She's got the arm on her right now. I knew that's what it was. But also this the way that now I heard people get mad about this too. Like you've heard people get mad about the Omar thing. I heard people get mad saying, "Oh, D was too." Here again, D Arya Stark dangerous, right? Oh, she's like Arya Stark. I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones. You know Arya. You know all about that.
Yeah, I like Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I'm sad.
I love me some Game of Thrones.
But you never watched my channel for Game of Thrones.
I know. I told you. I feel bad. I hate that I came to the game late.
That's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So you know. People gave it a bad rap saying, oh, she's like Arya Stark. She's killing people. She shouldn't be killing people. I wanted Christina to die, but it shouldn't have been at the hands of a child. What do you think? What up, Peach in the building?
I'm confused. I don't know why D did it. I know, okay, so in the car, I know she was reading Lovecraft, the book. And I don't know what Tick told her either. So I believe whatever Tick was preparing her for and that book, it did something to D. I just can't figure it out yet. I personally, my theory about that book, I felt like that book was more for D than Tick. Because I think that book is leading her to a different path. I don't know. In a time loop. I can't explain it. Do you get what I'm saying? Do that make sense?
It all depends how much D knew. Like it's like
D knows a lot of stuff, but I don't think she knows it right now at this time. Something happened for D to know these things, but in that time loop, I just don't think it happened yet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it would be like Tick died, right?
Right.
So D got the book. Like they got the book. So this same book that Tick has to give to her that she gives to Tick in the future is probably the same book, right? That she has right there.
Right, and I think that future D wanted baby D to get the book. That's just my theory.
No,
because I mean, a lot of people say it did help Tick. It really didn't help. I mean, he would have known he was gonna have a baby in a minute. I mean, I don't think that really helped. I just think it's more for D. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she had that little spotlight at the end, because I really think future D wanted baby D to get it.
She said you still don't get it to her.
She still didn't, and that could have been her. That could have been the whole family line. How many times they tried that spell, and that could have been a lot of reasons.
They could have killed her like over and over and over and over again. They may kill Christina 500 times.
Maybe.
Like you still don't get it. Like, what don't you get? What do you mean still? What do you mean still don't get it? Like, it sounds like you've been here before. You know what I mean? Like, you still don't learn. You still not learn. Like, we done killed you 80 times already, and you still keep coming back to this. You still keep winding up in this same situation.
Right.
Which makes me believe that Christina is going to come back to life. And I know how she's going to do it. I see it already, how she's coming back to life.
It's going to be another video. You're going to make us wait.
Yeah, I got to do another video. I can't do another video. Yeah, people won't watch the video. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely going to do another video. What I share with that. You know what I mean? So that is what it is. Yep, Tick took D to meet the black shag off. There's a reason why all that happened, you know, and everything else. So I definitely think that you know, something is jumping off with everything else. Oh man, I'm sorry, I can't give away all the videos I'm doing. I gotta keep y'all entertained, so I can't give you everything. We gotta come back here. We'll be back here again next Sunday. We'll keep going every Sunday.
You are.
Right?
With different topics. Okay.
With different topics, and we'll keep coming back out here talking about
You can't go cold turkey. You can't, like, addicts can't just get off of it. We gotta ease our way off.
Tracy Pierce says, who don't love Arya Stark? There was a lot of people who were mad about Arya Stark being such a young child, killing people and becoming a mass murderer. There's a whole lot of people who did not enjoy that about Arya Stark. Yeah. Especially book people, when you deal with the age difference. When you look at Arya in the book, she's like half her age, you know. And the books are different, you know what I mean? The books are the books that it did. George R. R. Martin, he had plans with the books. The plan he had in the book in the beginning was that Arya was supposed to get with Jon Snow. Right? They were supposed to be together.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
that was his plan when he originally wrote, but then he scrapped the idea. But that was what it was going to be. It was going to be Arya and Jon Snow, and he was supposed to get with her.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, she's a baby in the book. She's like 10, she's like 9-10 years old and all this stuff. She's doing all this crazy stuff. So, you know, it's a whole different situation. Everyone in the books are extremely young. You know, Jon Snow's only like 18. Sansa's real young. They're not the ages that they are in the show and all that stuff. So that is what it was. But all right, I digress. We will be back here next week talking more Lovecraft, 9 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. We'll keep rocking it. We'll keep doing it. And we'll have a new topic and everything else. Again, I want to thank Tamara for chilling with me and rocking with me. I appreciate you being here with me and everything else.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And we'll be back in next week. And if y'all want to get on next week, as I said, I put the link in the description. I allow people to come on here and express their opinion. That's what we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, because I was nervous being alone with you.
Why?
I don't know.
What about?
I thought more people were going to get on tonight.
Oh, maybe they was nervous getting on me. Maybe I'm intimidating from somehow. I don't understand how I could be. But hey, what is? Why are you nervous being alone with me?
I don't know. I'm nervous being on here anyway, and then no one came on. Like the other night, it was a group of us, so it was fun. I mean, it's fun too.
All right, I heard it was fun. I did. I heard you. I heard you the first time. I heard you. It's okay. I will say this though, and I'll tell people this about streaming and everything else. It's addicting, man. It really is. If you start doing it, you're gonna want to do it all the time. You're going to like to do it, and so be prepared that if you get on and stuff like that, that it does get addicting, and there's no doubt about it. Yes, that's the way it is. So, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up, just please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.